Remember those wonderful winters of delicate cascading snow? The soft presence of Jack Frost paying us a visit? The towering Christmas tree decorated with all those colorful lights? And those delightful feelings that felt so permanent, even if only for a season, if not all year. This was the moment to smile, to anticipate, to drink eggnog, and wonder the mysteries that lie under wrapping paper. The toys. The feverish curiosity that only painted plastic can bring. Welcome to ToyCrazy, where only us kidults can truly smile. Welcome to our third episode, Kidults. And I wanted to start this one off a little different, talking about the perks of being a kidult. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to take you back to a time when getting toys was like an adventure. Remember those times with your family and you was chilling with your parents, giving them all kinds of hints of what you wanted for Christmas, what you liked? They ask you, they'd be like, what do you want for Christmas? You're like, I want this and I want that. And then it becomes the countdown to whether you earn the right to get those toys. And then it was like an event because it was like, remember, toys was basically given to you on certain moments. And then here and there, if you're lucky and the finances was good, you can get toys like if your parents had that extra cash. But most of the time, toys were restricted to Christmas and birthdays. So I remember those times of putting the trees together with all the ornaments and the lights, and that was fun in itself. Just that whole time, hooking up all of the lights and putting all of those glittering, silvery things, I forgot what they were called, putting the Christmas star on the top. That was like the pinnacle. Once you did that, it was finished. And then you could stand back and click on the lights and all of these goodies. Then you would think about the time you would see Santa Claus at the mall or wherever he was there. Maybe he was in Macy's or Alexander's or some kind of store. He was over there and you would be online so you can talk to Santa Claus. And then when you was a kid, you would even think that you would maybe look out the window and see the sled and see Santa Claus, try to catch him in the act while he's delivering the toys to everyone. Everything was like candy. It was just a very colorful time and you just wanted to grab it all up, suck it all in because it was just beautiful, the anticipation. And then you hope that you got enough good grades or you did well enough or you didn't piss your parents off that bad that they say, you know what, I ain't getting you nothing for Christmas. So I'm only going to get you one thing that you want and that's it. And for the parents, it was exhausting, but at the same time exciting because you just hope that you had the money to buy your kids what they want after they already told you what they want. Then it was a quest because once you went into that toy store, you had to find out the toy store. Then you had to go into the toy store and search the aisles and hope that you can find the toys that your kids wanted and that the other parents didn't beat you to it. It was a total quest. It was cool. It was cool back in those days. And as a kid, you just hoped that your parents got you what you wanted. You never knew. It was the anticipation of wondering what the hell was going to be under those boxes. Was it going to be toys or was it going to be clothes or some shit that you didn't want? It was just a cool time. Emotionally, it was exhausting and stressful and exciting and all of these different things that happen at the time of Christmas when you got toys. But see, as a kiddo, you don't have to go through that. I mean, in a way, it has its perks, and then it has, the pros and cons is you don't have to go through those struggles of waiting for these moments here and there. But at the same time, you got to go through you got to hope that you can get it in time. And then a lot of times, if you try to get a pre-order, most of the times they already sold out. And then if people already, these, organizations already bought all of the pre-orders up. So then what they do is they sell it for double the price on eBay or wherever you can find it. It's crazy. But as a kiddo, you actually have the advantage of being able to get these toys whenever you want. You don't have to wait for Christmas. You don't have to wait for your birthday. But there are the struggles of being a kiddo. And those struggles are, if you're married, then your wife or your spouse is going to be like, what the fuck are you doing with that money? We need this money for this. So then they don't see the value of that pleasure that you're going to get from that. Or maybe you do, and both of y'all are in on it, but then the problem is the credit cards get run up. The bills are high. Now you're not even paying on the stuff you bought anymore. You're paying on the interest rates. So now everything is fucked up and you're in debt. It's all kinds of struggles. And then on top of that, there's always that look you get, from certain other adults. They'll look at you like, man, this what you spend your money on? I can't believe this shit. Man, you ain't nothing but a big kid. So then you get talked down on, or they just, if they don't say it and they do the polite game, they just give you the snicker, the look, the little, when you turn around, you step away for a minute, they give you the, that fucking idiot. They give you those things, but at the same time, you just be like, you know what, yeah, it's fucked up, but I don't care because I got my toys. You got that thrill like when you was a kid and you got the toys. When you just ran over to the Christmas tree, ran over to the toys in the morning and you didn't care. You just wanted to tear over the paper and just make a holy fucking mess because you wanted these toys. You didn't care. Those are the perks of being a kiddo. You don't have to do any of that. Plus, the cool thing about kiddos are, because they want that toy so bad, that collectible so bad, that movie, that statue or whatever it is, maybe it's a painting, a movie poster, whatever it is, that collectible that they want, that gives them the fond memories. They are fucking hard workers. They'll be the ones doing the overtime. They'll be the ones doing the fucking overtime to get that extra money. So after they pay their bills, they'll have that extra money so they can buy it. And if their spouse says, what the fuck are you, what you doing with the money? We gotta buy groceries. Yeah, I got grocery money, but this extra money I had to get this. I had to get it. That's the perks of being a kiddo. And the disadvantages, but the perks though, the perks of being a kiddo, the struggles and all of that. But in the end of the day, just like on Christmas when the packages and every paper's everywhere and all of this shit is all over the place and it's a holy mess, you settle down in the gratitude of knowing that you got what you want. And kiddos, isn't that what life is all about?
Do you accept the quest?
And this life is like a constant struggle, isn't it? It's like life says, look, I got all these struggles for you. And I'm going to keep testing you all the time to see if you get it.
What is the secret of life?
But when you really truly get it, kiddos, is when you realize that this life is here for you to explore yourself, to see who you are, to test your strengths and your weaknesses. So when shit happens to you, is to see whether you're strong enough to say, you know what, yeah, this sucks, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get over it. I'm gonna get past this. Or you could be that whiny kid and cry, but then in the end of the day, now you feel bad because you're stronger than that and you can get over it. All you have to do is stop, wipe those tears and get over it and keep moving on. Life is always throwing us curveballs, but in the end of the day, kiddos, when we stand firm and stand strong and we know what we want, know who we are, and know what we're going after, then it makes this life exciting. And those are the perks of being a kiddo. So with all of that being said, let's get into today's toy haul. And today's toy haul is kind of theme-ish in a way, but we'll get into that. Let's just dive right into it.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go, Ghostbusters!
We're ready to believe you!
Yeah! And today's haul is Ghostbusters Mania. I got a whole bunch of Ghostbusters collectibles that I'm dying to show you guys. All you kidults out there. So let's take a nice little trip over to Kenner and Hasbro and check out some of the cool retro goodness that they brought to us of one of the coolest cartoons ever, the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, man. And they had a bunch of cartoons. They had Slimer, the real Ghostbusters. And what was the other one? Oh, Extreme Ghostbusters. So we're gonna start it off with the real Ghostbusters Ecto-1 car. Check that shit out.
Ghostbusters! Okay, where are those ghosts? Yo! They're everywhere! I'll reel this one into Ecto-1. Bankman, we're ghosts! That's
The real Ghostbusters, each sold separately. From Kenner.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah.
I love the box, man. The box looks just like back in the 80s. I don't know if it came out in the 80s and the 90s, but it looks just like it. Very cool. Now, when I was younger, I didn't get a chance to collect this series. I was kind of more into the Transformers and G.I. Joe and those other series, so I didn't even collect these, but I knew about them. So this, for me, is like what you call a second chance. When you find something that you didn't get back in the days, and people, these Kenner and Hasbro was kind enough to bring them back for kidults like us, and I was happy to get this. So I'm gonna show you the box, give you a closer look, side, the back of the box. Very, very cool. Look at that. Nice, man. Very cool. Now I'm gonna try to see if I can open it, because I'm not one to open it, but I'm gonna try. See if I can cut through the tape, open it up and show you guys. I'm already feeling feverish. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't open it. I gotta keep it like it's fresh out the toy store, man. I can't do it. It's too cool, man. Leaving it in a box, and I just want that, like, I never opened it. I gotta keep it in the box, man. But this is what the car looks like out of the box. This is what it looks like. You can put your figures in there. If you have the figures to this series, you can put them in there. They'll fit nice in there. Very, very cool. So I'm gonna put the box down there again, give you a nice look. Thumbs up on this bad boy. All right. Now, since I didn't take it out, I got this version over here. And this version is a nice, like, kind of die-cast metal plastic version that came out from this company called Hollywood Rides. It's a cool-ass company. They make a lot of, like, vehicles and stuff from, like, many different series, cartoon series, television series, movie series, everything. So if you want to check out their line, they got a lot of cool-ass shit, man, called Hollywood Rides. But the one that I bought right here is the Ghostbusters vehicle. And I bought this specifically to be able to have it out of the box and on display. So that's why as soon as I bought it, just now, when I took it right out of the box for this review, because this one I'm gonna have on display out. I'll just dust it off. But the one from the actual cartoon series, like that one from Kenner, no, stays in the box. So here you go here. Rolls really nice. Cool. Give you another kind of 3/4 view. Oh shit! Oh shit! Fuck! No damages there. But here you go. Nice little front view there. Move it over to the side. There you go. Nice little view. Move it back and forth. Wheels are nice. Very cool.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
So who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
Each sold separately.
Have no fear. Beckman, Steph, and Spengler are here. So are these ghosts. They've got ectoplasm. We've been goofed. Now what? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Let's show this pile of dessert who's boss. Activate Neutrona Blaster. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Peter Venkman, Ectoplasm, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and other figures each sold separately. Ghostbusters, new from Kenner.
All right, we're gonna start off with the figures now. Now, this figures is, the real Ghostbusters. We're gonna start off with the Peter Venkman that comes with the Grabbler Ghost. Nice, man. I love the packaging. Looks good. Thumbs up. So I'm gonna bring it in a little closer. We're gonna start off with Peter Venkman. Look at that. Nice. Just like back in the days, man. So it's almost like a time warp. It's like I never left that decade. I got the toys right here, nice in the packaging. Now, some real diehard collectors, they want the original one for back then. For people like me, it's not that deep. It's for fond memories. As long as it looks like it did back then, I'm good with that. And this looks just like it did back then, at least for me. There you go, box. Check out the back. Nice, nice. Put him back. All right, we're gonna get Egon. Get you a closer look. Nice, look at Egon. Looks just like the cartoon, man. Very cool. Got his yellow ghost over there. Very cool. See if I'm gonna try to open them, man. I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try. I can't do it. Put it back, put them down. Not gonna open them. I gotta keep it like the toy store. Now we're gonna go to Winston Zeddemore and Ray Stan. Already thumbs up. So we're gonna start off with giving you a closer look of Winston. Packaging looks good. I like the way he looks, man, but he's like dark as fuck, man. They put him on some Wesley Snipes shit, man, but I ain't mad. He looks cool, man. Chocolatey as a motherfucker. Looks very cool with his red ghost. Show you the back of the box. Very cool. Put him back to his buddy. Here we go. Let's pick up Ray. Give you a closer look. Bam! Look at that. Nice packaging. Very cool. We went back in time, man. We didn't even need a time machine. Very nice. Show you the back of the box. Very cool. Put him back. Nice, man. Now we're gonna add old nasty Slimer there. There you go. Thumbs up on this guy. Now this is the Slimer not from that particular series by Kenner. This one is by Kenner, but it's not that same series. I wanted a Slimer that actually looked like Slimer. I didn't want the one that was from that particular toy series. I wanted this one right here because he makes all kinds of sounds. When you put your finger in his mouth, he makes all these funny ass sounds, man. Check it out. Yeah. But he always make these like kind of grunting sounds. Like look at his back, look at his ass. Me Slimer. But yo, I gotta share with you guys, man. I gotta share with you guys some very cool stuff. Now, of course, you guys don't know me. Most of you guys just know me as Uncle Terra, or, you know, some of you guys that know me from Mustard Seed Comics, creating those comic books and stuff. But, you know, I have an interesting life. I led an interesting life and continue to lead an interesting life. And one of the things is I met a lot of celebrities. Like I've met them, and then it was weird because I used to have a channel called The Wayfarer, and I had a side part of the channel just on some of the celebrities I met and all of the crazy stories. You know how Charlie Murphy had that part when he would talk about like the Charlie Murphy Hollywood stories? Well, I have my own, and I have a lot of fucking stories to tell about actors, musicians, especially that I've met, known before they were famous, you know, all of this type of stuff, experiences that I had through the course of my life. And one of those experiences was I met the cast from Ghostbusters. Now, I didn't meet everybody. I saw 3 of them. I saw Ernie Hudson that played Winston. I saw Rick Moranis that played the goofy guy and shit with this greasy hair, that like the nerdy guy that did people's taxes. And I also saw Dan Aykroyd. Now, I saw all of them in person, but I didn't actually meet Dan Aykroyd because it went like this. They was filming Ghostbusters 2, right? So I was on the set of some scene. It was by accident. I don't know if I was if any friends was with me or not, but I know I was there. And I remember I waited for like an hour, maybe almost 2 hours in the hot fucking sun while they was filming this scene outside. And it was like a whole bunch of people, and we was all waiting for the scenes to like be finished, or the shoot to be finished, so we can like talk to them or say hello or get a signature or whatever. So I waited. Like, now when the movie was filming, I ran to the comic book store real quick, bought some comic books of the Ghostbusters, went back. Actually, it was a comic, not some. It was one. Went back to the set stayed there the whole time till they finished. And once they finished, it was like whatever happened on that set, Dan Aykroyd was pissed the fuck off. I mean, like, you know, they have these trailers, like where you know, they have the cameras, all this shit, the crew and all of that. And they also have trailers, and they have trailers that they have for the actors. So after they wrapped up the set, Dan Aykroyd, like, he left. Everybody was like waiting. He was like, oh, he just stormed off, went into his trailer and slammed that shit. And we was like, oh man, what the fuck, man? And I wanted to meet Dan Aykroyd, man. I love Dan Aykroyd. He's funny and cool, and also he's into the paranormal shit like me. So, you know, I definitely wanted to meet him. Couldn't meet him then. So the ones that was left, there was no like Bill Murray there, and there wasn't Harold Ramis. And I'm sad to know that Harold Ramis died, but he left a legacy of great movies that we can all remember him and love his work. But he wasn't there, but only Rick Moranis and Ernie Hudson. And they were like mad cool. They let everybody come over to them and talk to them, and they were signing autographs and all of that. So once it got to me, I had them sign a comic book that I had. So I had Ernie Hudson's signature, and I had Rick Moranis' signature on a real Ghostbusters comic book. And, you know, sad enough, I had it for like a little bit, but, you know, I needed money because, you know, I was an artist, and art supplies and, you know, cost money, and I always had to buy my own art supplies. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was buying it for me. I didn't have that kind of family that bought art supplies for me, so I bought them on my own if I was working or whatever. So I sold this comic book to get money for art supplies. And, you know, I sold it to this crooked ass comic book store owner who only paid like $80 for it. He should have paid more because this had the actors on it, but, you know, that's kind of that. You know, it's whatever, man. So that's just one. But as we do this show, I will share a lot. If there are any toys or any relevance to any actors that I've met along the way, I will definitely share it with you guys. I mean, really, it's just very cool. And I'm proud to say that because I was always that guy. I was always that guy that was there. I don't care if it was a show, it was a filming, it was a movies being shot or filmed, or I was at a comic book convention. I've done a lot of comic book conventions for Must See Comics, and I met actors there, and I had these crazy experiences there and all of this stuff. I was always that guy, or I happened to meet them in the street. Like I met Cyndi Lauper. I mean, so many people I've met. I have so many stories to tell just on that alone. I could do a show on that alone because I was always that guy. That man. That's right, I was there. That man. And you wasn't aware. That man. That's right, motherfuckers. Nana boo boo, nana boo boo, nana boo. That man. And I don't fucking care. So, all right, now that I shared that with you, we're going to get back to our Ghostbusters haul. And you can't have a Ghostbusters haul and just have the figures. You got to have one of the main staples of Ghostbusters, and that's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But in this case, it's not from Kenner. It's from a company called Heroes Goo-Jitsu. And they make this squishy, mushy character of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'm going to put him over here, let you see him at a distance. Put him next to Slimer. Shit. Stay up. Stay here. Motherfucker, stay up. It's just that he's too squishy. Look, let me fix him. Bam, look at this shit, man. Fuck you. But this was the packaging. He was another one that I bought. Some toys or collectibles I buy so that I can take them out of the packaging. And he was one of them. I wasn't going to keep the box. The box is nothing. The packaging is nothing special. It's cool, but nothing special. But that's not why I bought it. I bought it for him. There you go. This is for Fallen. Look. Stretch him out. He reminds me of Stretch Armstrong, but he's just a little bit more gooey. He really feels like a marshmallow, man. I mean, it feels good and funny all at the same time. You'd be scared if you're gonna rip him. Look at this shit. He definitely feels like a marshmallow when you touch him. If you ever had like marshmallows in your hand, you squish them and pull them and try to stretch them out before it breaks. That's exactly what this toy feels like. Stretch him out a little bit more. Yeah, very cool. Put him over here. Bam, stupid bastard, he just falls. He totally reminds me of, he just reminds me of Stretch Armstrong. But don't this Stretch Armstrong look like Trump? Like if he was Diesel, muscular? Stretch him out. Look at, there you go. Look at his legs.
I'm gonna make America great again.
Shut the fuck up. You fixing shit. All right, so we're gonna head over to Super 7. Very cool toy company. Their toys on the expensive side, but sometimes they make toys that are affordable or budget friendly, such as the Reaction series, Reaction figures. And I have like one figure here from the Toxic Crusader series, Toxie.
Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders. I had no friends, no girls that hugged me till I got radioactive ugly. Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders. I live in the dump 'cause the ribs real low. Got a little back Bobby and he loves me so. Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders.
Show you from a distance. Pull them up close. There you go. Very cool box. I like the colors. It's so reminiscent of the cartoon. There you go. Give you a nice, good view. That's what the character looks like front and back with his orange mop. And you know what's so funny? The Toxic Avenger is this like ugly character, but he's very cool because we like the movie. But then it's like the Toxic Avenger or Toxic Crusader in the cartoons. He got the same treatment as the Ninja Turtles. I mean, the Ninja Turtles in the comic book was brutal and violent. And then all of a sudden it was all pizza and all of this shit. And then the Toxic Avenger, the fucking movie is like gory as fuck. And you know, I mean, just bloody and nasty and sadistic and shit. And then he got the same treatment as the Ninja Turtles. And then it becomes the Toxic Crusader. Very cool cartoon. But I'm like, you know, it's hard to like swallow that the Toxic Avenger is a cartoon for kids, man. But you know, who cares? It's all fun. Show you the packaging again. Show you the back. There you go. Very cool. Put them back. Nice, man. And they also got a Toxic Crusaders video game coming out one day in the motherfucking future. It was supposed to come out last year, but it looks good, man. I can't wait for it to come out. All right, we're going to head back over to Kenner and Hasbro and check out their series, the Marvel Legends series. Like, they're 3 3/4 figures of, like, I got two of them. I got Iron Man and I got the Black Panther, man. Very fucking cool, man. But I remember the comic books, man, you know. And for me, I could say this. I create my own comic books and everything. But I love comic books, man. When I grew up, that's all I read. You know, it was all about the imagination. When you would just get these paper books and just read them and just let your imagination run wild. And you had to imagine what these panels, these characters drawn. And one of my favorite artists back then was Jack Kirby, who created a lot of the Marvel characters. And he was done wrong, of course, because I know this all too well because I had a brief period where a brief stitch when, if you want to call it that, where I worked for Marvel. I was supposed to work on the Excalibur series, which was a spinoff of the X-Men series with Captain Britain. And I went there and I came at the like wrong time. Because everybody that was making Marvel famous in that time in the 90s had all left. They had just left. And I'm talking about Rob Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane, the guy that created Savage Dragon, all of them, they all fucking, Jim Lee that created, was working on the X-Men and he created Wildcats on Image. All of them left, the whole fucking team, they left. They pulled the same shit that Don Bluth and all of those artists that left from Disney when they left them high and dry. And then if it wasn't for Tron, Disney would have just failed automatically. But the same thing happened to Marvel because they was doing these artists wrong or whatever have you. And I came at that time right after them. It was like walking into a bullet. Marvel was in a fucking panic. They was scrambling for new artists. I happened to be one of those artists, and you know, they say, oh, you know, come here and, you know, show me your artwork, and you know, they love my portfolio. And then, but at that time, that style that, was popular, that was selling their magazines, that was like that Jim Lee did, Rob Liefeld, all of them. I could do that style. I was very good at imitating styles and even doing my own. So I was drawing like them in that particular style, right? So the editor at that time, his name was Mark something. I don't remember his last name. Could care less what it was. He was a fucking asshole, man. So the writer that was writing the comic books for Excalibur, his name was Rob. I don't remember his last name, but I know his name was Robert, or we call him Rob. He was a really cool guy, and he gave me the script, and I had a deadline to like interpret the script. So I had to do a few pages, and if everything worked out, then I was going to be the artist that was going to be drawing for that series Excalibur, right? So I did like, I don't know, 5 or 6 pages, 5 or 6 big ass panel pages for the script. And when I took him to the writer, he loved it. I mean, he absolutely loved it. He said, "You're the only artist that ever interpreted my script." Because a lot of artists, from behind the scenes, for some of you consumers that don't know this shit, Marvel Comics was always a fucked up company to work for, but you have to work for them to know that. So I did the pages. They looked really good. I was happy with them. He was happy with them. So we passed them over to the editor, right? Mark. Mark was pissed off. I mean, I was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "What do you want me to change?" He said, "I don't like it." I said, "Well, what's wrong with it? You're using the style that those guys did, like Jim Lee and all of them, Rob Liefeld. You're using that style." And I was like, "So what? That's the style that's popular. That's what was selling your books. That's what everybody is looking for." "Yeah, well, we don't want that style." So I said, "What kind of style do you want me to do?" So I tried different styles. That didn't work. He was an asshole. So you know what? It was like a bad experience. So I was like, fuck it. It's not that cool. And I was kind of, like disappointed. Not because I didn't get the job. Because, it's not that deep. I can always work. I'm an artist. And I was a commercial artist. So I can do pretty much anything. As you can see from anybody that follows my videos, follows my art, follows my book. I'm very flexible. I can do all kinds of art because that's what I took up when I went to art and design. So it was kind of like a weird thing to kind of like, be treated like that and not be expelled because of the fact that I wasn't a good artist, but because my style was reminiscent of their style, and he was just an asshole, and it just didn't work out. So, but in the end, I walked off tall, and I had got work after that anyway, so it was all good. But I was just giving you that little behind the scenes tidbit of, I did work briefly for Marvel, and it wasn't a good experience. So we're going to start it off with the Black Panther, man. Look at that, man. Look how cool that looks. And I like the way it looks like the comic book version. It don't look like the movie version. You can get like 12-inch, $10 figures of that shit. But this one I like because it's like straight off the comic book pages. And I like the back. I like the packaging art. Whoever's the artist of this, very cool, man. I really like the art. Show you again. Look of it. Turn it around. Look at the back. All right.
Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with a heart of steel.
As Iron Man, all jets ablaze, he's like and like with repulsor rays. Amazing armor,
That's Iron Man.
a blazing bomber.
Iron Man, man. Fucking Iron Man. I love this fucking character, man. Very fucking cool character. I love all the cartoons, and I fucking love War Machine, man. Yeah, look at that, man. Very fucking cool character, man. And I love the art and the packaging. I love the way they make it look like Iron Man from the comic books. Very good decision on Kenner and Hasbro. I love this series. I don't know if it's really doing that well, but I hope they make more, man. Marvel has so many great characters to choose from. I hope they continue this series, man. Very cool. Look at the box. Look at the back. Very cool. Nice, man. Now, I didn't want to talk about this because this is not what I'm using the show for to, express my political views about life and all of that type of stuff. This is about a toy show. But I happened upon this video the other day, just before I was going to record this. And it just kind of irked me. and I found that it was relevant to what's going on here, and as far as like what I'm reviewing, the toy I'm reviewing, and just something I feel like it needs to be driven home in a time when it really needs to be driven home. And that's about this racism stuff that's going around. Now, for me, I'm gonna say this as a disclaimer. I'm not against, as I told you, I don't believe in the whole white folks, black folks, Hispanic. I don't believe in any of that shit. I just believe we're people. However, I understand a lot of people do believe it, and they take pride in it. And because they do, it puts them in this kind of defensive state against people that are not them. There was this clip about like this Disney show called Ironheart about this, like, I guess he was like a teen genius or whatever. I don't know. I didn't see it. A teen genius or whatever that created like an Iron Man suit for herself, and she's a young black woman or a brown woman or just a young woman if you want to be real about it. And apparently, like a lot of these, YouTubers that, always using their channels and this platform as some kind of a hate speech against whatever, and it's really just racism, but they try to masquerade it as them standing up for what's right and all of this other type of stuff. But really, it's just racism. But I'd rather you see the clip first and then I'll build on it later.
Anytime a project that centers any minority group, whether it be a racial minority group or members of the LGBTQ community, comes out, your favorite content creators get together and hate on it because they're racist, in efforts to get everybody else to not watch the project or to go downvote the project before it even comes out.
You could tell when she said stepdad that it was going to be about black people.
No thing.
My stepdad, because my real dad left me.
Are they going to play black music so I know there's a black person starring in it?
I don't know if this is a show about black people until I hear hip hop. Yeah, what's going on?
What would her Jarvis be called? Jamiqua?
Jarvisqua. I heard it said Jarvisqua.
Jaquisha? I think Jamichael works.
I'm going with Shanae. I'm going to go
with... Wow. Likely.
I think it means Shathiad.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Father.
Oh. And then when you look at this clip, you like these little punk ass, racist ass white boys. And I'm like, if they was to go into the hood and say this stuff, they ain't coming out alive. You know what I'm saying? But they say this stuff in the comfort of their own homes, where they know that in their suburban neighborhoods, where they can feel safe to be racist and play their little games and make their little cheap videos and put it out there. I think that's pretty foul. I can't play the race game because in my bloodline, I have ancestors that are English, ancestors that are Irish, ancestors that are Spanish, Portuguese, ancestors that are Asian, ancestors that are Native American, ancestors that are black from like Northern Africa, Sub-Sahara. I have families that is even Pakistani. My blood even goes to Canada. I mean, my bloodline goes all over this place. So for me, I don't have the privilege of picking one over the other. So that's why I took a stand on just being neutral. I'm just a person living in America. Like, let me ask, like, some of you racists that may be hearing this stuff, whether you undercover or not. What the fuck is your problem? I mean, like, your whole approach to life and everything is the reason why all of us have hell on earth. Because let's examine this. Let's look at these few things. And I'm going to make this brief because I don't want to go long into this because I have 2 other toys to review. But I want to make this point clear because it's really stupid for this stuff to continue going on in this day and age. Okay, so let me get this straight. Number 1. You're deeming yourself superior because of your white skin. Now, first off, you don't have white skin, you have light skin. That is a combination of high yellow to high pink. So you don't have white skin. So let the color-coded thing, let that go. You lack melanin. So that's the reason why your skin is light, or your hair color is light, or your eyes is light. So this is a genetic kind of deformity. So I don't understand, how does that make you superior? Number two, you're the real immigrant in this country. You're the first immigrant in this country. Nobody asked you to come here. Nobody sent for you. Nobody said, hey, could you come across the sea and come over here and kill us all up and take our lands and plant your flags and do all of this? Nobody asked you to come here. So you don't even belong here. So the fact that you're policing this country as if you have the right to do it, kicking everybody out and stopping them from having the American dream because you feel that you have the ownership of this land, is just downright like criminal. And the fact that the government and the institutions of this so-called great land doesn't stop this whole nonsense is the perfect example of the racism and the stupidity that is the problem in this world. Why this whole world is in unrest, because the real problem is racist white males. They're the problem. They've been the problem. They got that haterade. They want to hate on everybody that has something. They hate them. They hate on their women if they succeed or they're smart or they do something. They hate on them. They hate on any black man or Asian man or Hispanic man or anything. If they have something, they hate on them. But it's all good in the hood when it's a white man, when he's the white savior, the white hero, and all of this type of stuff. Let that go, because you're not the hero. You've never been the hero of the story. You've always been the villain. You've been the one causing all of these problems abroad wherever you go. Violence, death, disease, destruction. You're always challenging God and religions. You all over the place. You don't even, and then you hate everybody. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? You got a bloodlust. You always got to kill all the time. You always creating weapons of mass destruction, biological weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you feel that your intelligence supersedes anybody else? Who else is doing this but you? If you look at when Europeans came into power, there's been nothing but unrest, war, civil wars, everywhere they go. So I don't understand, where do you feel that you're superior? Is really the obvious truth is that you're inferior and you're trying to protect that. Because I don't see what you're defending here. I don't. When you're killing people, innocent black folks or brown-skinned folks. And then you got these racist, cowardly white males that get dressed up in in police costumes, go out there and abuse and kill Hispanics and blacks, just for the kick of it, get away with it because the government is corrupt and crooked. These guys are never held accountable for what they do. It makes the news. There could be evidence, video evidence, and they still get away with it. What does that tell you? But the secret truth, kiddos, is that Nazi Germany never really died off, because the CIA was created by an ex-Nazi. NASA was created by Wernher von Braun, an ex-Nazi scientist. So this whole country, all they did was move the operation over here. And the racism, the KKK, the evils that these racist, cowardly white men in hoods do, whether they wearing hoods or whether they wearing police uniforms, it's always a costume. They got it so they can feel empowered to do their dirty work. So I'm just trying to understand, where do you feel like you're the hero of the story? That you have to hate on, like when people of color or colored people play the roles of superheroes, when in reality, it's all fantasy. And you're no hero in real life. You're villains. Because look at the stuff that you do in this country and you've done abroad. Look at the fact that everybody's in a panic for war. And who's the ones that have the weapons of war? Then the ignorant fools like Trump and the rest of them love to say Iran and the Muslims are terrorists. Meanwhile,
in Hurricane Helene's wake, devastation and destruction stretching as far as the eye can see.
We were not prepared for this.
The powerful Category 4 storm causing damage in at least 10 states. Hardest hit, North Carolina, where every single county has been impacted.
And I survived Helene, and because I have a home and land and trees fell down. I survived that, and there was barely no trees. But man, a lot of these suburbia white places where they like to feel safe from, anybody of color and all of that stuff, smashed down, destroyed. This was just the tip of the iceberg. God was just getting started, just destroying their places, destroying their houses and all of that type of stuff all around North Carolina, where they hide out in the mountains and stuff and have their little sundown towns and all of that and do their little evil racism over there, destroyed. And I don't take no pleasure out of people losing their homes or this type of terrible stuff happening. But you have to ask the question, why is it happening? And who is it happening to? But let's continue, because in the end of the day, how's that racism working out for you? Is your gun saving you from God's punishment? Let's see how much more God has been doing his rounds. Check this out.
This morning, the firestorm officials had feared becoming a reality, with a third out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
At the end of the day, I mean, who's ready for something like this?
Overnight, flames reaching the iconic Malibu neighborhood and its beachfront homes. In the coastal neighborhood Pacific Palisades, multiple homes completely engulfed in flames, with desperate residents rushing to get out.
That's right. Southern California, Malibu, all those places where, you know, again, rich white folks having their nice houses and their nice little communities and, you know, few minorities here and there and all of this other type of stuff burned down to the ground, destroyed. And do you know what? Did the insurance companies help you? No. Was it a white thing? No. They just didn't help you because it's a money thing. I mean, just absolutely destroyed that place. But that's not all. Let's check out some more of God's greatest hits. Damn, look at that. In Louisiana, that plantation burning down to the ground. Because you know why? Those same racist white folks that owned that stuff sat there and had the same generations of the slaves still working there. You know why? They was exploiting that, using it as some kind of vacation place where people can get weddings and stay in the slave quarters and all of this type of stuff. I mean, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? This sickness that is terrible. And I always believe this, that human beings they have some kind of mental sickness. That's the reason why they can't grow, they can't elevate, they can't excel, they can't reach to the next level. They'll never be in the Galactic Federation, the true one. They'll never get up there because why? Because you can't wake up from this hatred, this evil, and this stupidity of killing and destroying each other and using excuses to do it. And once again, how's that racism working for you? Because it ain't saving nothing, it ain't protecting you. Because yeah, you may think, yeah, I'll shoot a nigger, I'll shoot a Hispanic, I'll shoot a spick, I'll shoot a Jew or whatever. But you know what? You ain't shooting God, buddy, because he's getting you and you can't do a goddamn thing about it. But let's continue on some of God's greatest hits.
We had over the last couple of days, and one of the hardest hit areas was London, Kentucky, an absolutely devastating tornado that happened there. That was close to midnight, and that was on Friday night, early Saturday morning, while those storms were going on. A very long track supercell that actually started in southeast Missouri and ended up going across a good chunk of Kentucky, dropped multiple tornadoes.
That's right, London, Kentucky. Absolutely devastated, destroyed all of them houses. Those were sundown towns over there, racist white people living in their suburbs. And they'll say, well, I'm not racist. Of course you are. There's a lot of them in there. They just don't want you to know that they're racist, but that's why they have their communities predominantly white. Make sure that there's only a sprinkle of 1 or 2 blacks or Hispanics in there, but mostly white over there. And then you know what happened? They think they're safe in their communities. And what did God do? Bam! Just destroyed it, took it down, decimated it. And you know what they could do? Absolutely nothing about it. And that's not all, because, you know, these same racist white boys and white women that don't realize that, you know, the Egyptians thought they could do it too. Look, do you ever see a real Egyptian? And I'm not talking about them fake Arabs that's trying to pretend to be Egyptians. I'm talking about real Egyptians. You don't see none of them. They don't even exist nowhere. So what you think God is going to do to these same racist white people that go around committing all types of atrocities on this planet, hurting all kinds of people that he created? What the fuck gives you the right to hurt anybody? You're not God. You did not create black people. You did not create Hispanics or any people. Who gives you the fucking right to take and hurt anybody, you fucking evil bastards? Who the fuck are you to have a right to hurt anybody? You don't have the right, and you don't have the right to hurt them, to take from them, to steal from them, to take their children, nothing. You don't have no right. But yet at the same time, you give yourself the right. How the fuck you figure that? But let's continue. Let's look at some more of God's greatest hits, because once again, the question is asked, how is that racism doing for you? How's that going?
Down on illegal immigration is starting to affect the Texas agriculture industry. Some farmers say their workers are too scared to show up for work.
They hear that ICE is coming, or they see somebody from INS roll up, well, they just don't show up. They're scared to come to work.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller tells Fox 4 dairy farmers have been hit the hardest.
But on a dairy, those cows, they never stay milked. You milk them 3 times in a 24-hour period. So if the crew doesn't show up, these dairymen go into panic mode.
That's right. They don't even know that black people built this country. That's right. That's right, kiddos. Black people built this country. The White House, all of it. The plantations, all of this stuff. You think these lazy, racist, weak-ass white boys that were out there would be in the heat and struggle to build stuff? No, they get them to do it. That's why these white boys always want to overcharge for everything. If they're plumbers, mechanics, or whatever, if they do it, if you call them to go fix something, they're going to overcharge you like 3 times more than if you ask a black or a Hispanic to do it. But if they do it because they lazy, they're going to overcharge as always. So I'm saying, how is that racism working for you? Look at these farmers. They don't have no Mexicans, blacks helping them. The suicide rate is up. They are absolutely losing. So how is that working out for you? So in closing, to get away from this stuff and to get onto these toys, I don't take no pleasure in these people suffering. I don't take no pleasure in none of this stuff. But I do want to make that point clear that racism does not pay. And also, too, God is just. And this is not all, because I know for a fact what's coming is horrible. It's going to be to a point where all of these racist whites, or even just, my good white brothers and sisters, are going to be like, man, this white thing is scary. Because at the same time, when God bring down the thunder on all of this stuff, and it's coming from everywhere, there's no escape. Whether you're in Europe, here, or wherever you're at, it's no escape. It's coming. And they know it's coming. That's why they're trying to push this whole agenda, but they've already lost. Because the true powers that be know that these evil racist whites can no longer be in power anymore. Because look what they have done to this planet. Look what they've done to their fellow brothers and sisters, man. Look what they continue to do and think that they're going to keep getting away with it. Well, God's been proving that that's not true, and he's going to keep on proving it until it's ultimately true. I had to make this point clear because I want us to build on being people again. Be people and stop being racist, because we're all one race. We're all going through the struggle of life, and we don't need to hurt, kill each other, and we don't have the right to do such a thing. And it's a shame that we do this, considering that we want to consider ourselves intelligent and the most intelligent species on the planet. Where's the proof of this when we can't even get along? We're going to get on to the last 2 collectibles that comes from a company called Shelf Talkers. They make cool figures, kind of like, a mashup between a stuffed toy and a plastic head. And you can pull a string and they start talking with the voices from wherever they come from. But I bought the Beavis and Butthead shit. Check this out. Beavis and Butthead. Thumbs up, man. That's my shit, man.
Hello. Can I, hi, how may I, hey Beavis, what's that thing we're supposed to say?
Hey, I think it's, bunghole. Yeah, that's it.
Bunghole. Do you want, like, some food or something?
No, I want your money.
Will that be all for you today?
Now! Empty the drawer!
Empty my drawers?
I've got a gun, idiot! This is a robbery!
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, that's right. Look how he leaned on him, though. I knew it was a love affair between them two on the low. Let me break up this love connection. We're gonna start off with Beavis.
What are you trying to say? I'm ugly?
I can't really imitate him, but I'm gonna do my best. The box was nothing special. I bought this to take this out of the box and put him around. I was not gonna keep the box, but I love the toy. It got this hard ass plastic head and like this soft little, like almost weightless body, stuffed body that they have, but that hard ass plastic head, man. But when you pull the string in the back, it has some quotes from the TV show. Check this out.
You want to hear me talk?
Pull the string. There you go. Okay. You stay there, Beavis. I have another one for you. You behave now, or you're gonna get the hand treatment. Stay there and don't move. All right, we're gonna come to old ugly ass butthead. Butthole. Yeah, he looks really cool. And what I also like about this company and the products that they make, I mean, this looks like the cartoon. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, it got the same face. They made sure they kept the details in the face so they can like kind of half staff on the body and just make it. But it looks just like the cartoon. Very fucking cool, man. And these heads are heavy. So like when you try to pose, you can't stand them up or anything or pose them or nothing. They're just gonna be like you have to lean them against something, or these big ass, heavy ass heads, they're gonna constantly fall. He said fall. Here you go. That wasn't right. Here we go. Okay. All right, it works. Violent. You're a violent asshole. Very cool, very cool. All right, I'll put him next to his boyfriend. They over there chilling, taking a pose. You go, boys.
Beavis, I don't like him.
Let's get out of here, Beavis. He's fucking violent.
Yeah, he is. He sucks. Your show sucks.
Damn it, that's like the 10th time tonight or something. Maybe we should see who it is.
Trick or treat.
All right, so after these messages, I will let you know how much this toy haul cost. And this one isn't going to be cheap. Stay tuned.
We'll be back after these messages.
She's Jam, the most glamorous rock star ever. She's also Jerica, the president of Starlight Music. But only her friends, the holograms, Kimber, Aja, and Shayna, know that Jerica's also Jam. Their clothes are so sharp. Her gem star earrings are the ultimate. Your music is totally awesome. Jam comes with Jam and Jerica outfits. Kimber, Aja, and Shayna sold separately with cassettes from Hasbro.
Sooner or later, you're going to try a White Owl, and when you do, we got you. Maybe we'll get you with the Great White Owl flavor, or the mildness, or one of the Great White Owl shapes, like this, New Yorker. But we're going to get you. You know we're going to get you. It's only a matter of time, and then we're going to get him, White Owl. We're going to get him. White Owl. We're going to get you.
First, you said, hello, sexy legs.
Hello, sexy legs.
Now, say, hello, sexy necks.
Hello, sexy legs.
You mean hello, sexy necks.
Sexy legs pantyhose, now sexy necks. Top fashion knickers at supermarket prices.
Hello, sexy legs.
You mean hello, sexy necks.
The name of the game is Ball Buster. It's a family game, fun for children. And for adults, it's exciting. You make strategic offensive and defensive moves. Then try to bust your opponent's balls. It's as easy as checkers. But exacting like pool.
You're a ball buster.
Ball Buster, a great new game from Mego.
Silverhawks, partly metal, partly real, mighty warriors with the powers to protect space from all evil.
Bustle's busting out. Shredder too. Stargazer seen us.
Figures with weapon birds sold separately.
Slybird, Surgery Report, Quicksilver, Activate Power Wings, Tallywhack, Engage Scissor Wings. Now take them down. Mumbo Jumbo Air Shock. It's hero stomping time. No way.
Buzzsaw with Shredditor, Quicksilver with Tallyhawk. Other figures with weapon birds sold separately. Silverhawks, new from Kenner.
We're back. It's that time. It's that time. Time to go. Oh, my dears, it's that time that we walk on separate lines. It's okay. There are other days that we can be intertwined. So don't you never mind. All of these items you see here on this toy haul was purchased from Amazon online store. All right, we're back and we're gonna tally up this toy haul. Starting off with the Hasbro Kenners, The Real Ghostbusters Ecto 1. That set me back $60. Now, I also had an Ecto 1 that was like a die-cast metal one that was from Hollywood Rides. That one set me back $30. Then we're going to move on to the action figures. The Peter Venkman Grappler Ghost figure, $17.99. The Egon Spangler and Gobler Ghost figure, $14.99. The Winston Zeddemore and Chomper Ghost, $14.99. And the Ray Stantz and Rapper Ghost, $19.99. And for the Slimer Squishy Talking Thingy, $24.99. And lastly, on the Ghostbusters tip, the Heroes Goo-Jitsu Squishy Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, $12.99. And the Super 7 reaction figure, Toxic Crusaders Toxie, $10.99. And a Kenner Hasbro Marvel Legends series Iron Man, $8.99. And also the Black Panther, $7.99. And lastly, the Shelf Talkers Beavis and Butthead dolls. Beavis was $20.99. And so was Butthead. He was $20.99. Leaving today's total a whopping $265. It's bad, but not so bad. I think my first haul was worse than this one. This one wasn't so bad, but it definitely brings me a lot of joy having all of these collectibles, these figures from my childhood. Hey Kidults, I hope I haven't disturbed you with that whole take on the racism thing. But you know, in the end, we're all adults, or we should be adults here. Whether we love toys or not and we're kiddos, we should be adults here. And that's what this show is about, having adult conversations. And I know it's easy to run from these topics. We don't want to hear about it. We always want to be escaping, finding some way to escape. But how much can you escape? It's always going to haunt you. When you turn your television screen, put on your phones, go on your social media pages, you're always going to find these terrible things being done. And when you don't do anything and you don't start a dialogue, start a conversation where we as adults that have sense, that are not racist, that are not foolish, that just want to live in a safe world and live in a safe life, then we have to have these conversations, because these conversations are the building blocks of bringing forth a golden age, a new time when men can stop hating one another and start using our brains and our power for more greater things in this world than using it to abuse each other. And we have to have these conversations. We can't run from them. We can't hide from them. And we can't hate the people that have the courage to speak out on these things. But we have to stop these fools like we've seen on there with them YouTubers and these people that love to exploit this stuff and be irresponsible when it comes to this, because in the end, all of this does is keep this hate going. And these racist white boys have that haterade. They hate anybody. They hate if women have things. They hate if anybody they see have something. But it's okay if it's them. If they're the heroes and strong and marching forth, then it's all good. But if it's anybody else, they hate them. And that's got to stop. Everybody has the right to shine. Everybody has the right to express themselves. Everybody has a right to have the American dream, not just some people. And on that note, hopefully I won't have this conversation again on this show. And I drove that point home to you guys so that this can start a dialogue and maybe even get you thinking about how do you feel? And if you have those thoughts, maybe you should stop. I always feel like this. Change starts with one person at a time. You don't have to have this massive change of all these people coming together and everybody change. That's not realistic. One person at a time, that's change. And the more it goes down like that, the more you'll find that change will happen. And it starts with us all wanting the same thing, wanting a better world, a peaceful world, and a world where we don't have to hurt each other. And if there's any form of violence, let it be in movies and television shows or whatever, or cartoons, but let it not be in real life. Let that just be fantasy and entertainment, but not the sickness that we do to each other. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Be safe, and God bless. Wow, that was fun. I guess the world isn't such a bad place after all. Look, no one likes to say goodbyes. No one likes to see things come to an end. So let's just say, we'll see you again. Take care, everybody.